Okay, Bart, real talk. Why do we even need to learn all that language stuff in class? I get that language is important, but it feels like they're making us study way too much theory about it. Who cares about all that stuff like speech communities and gendered language?
Okay, I get what you're saying, but it's not just some random theory, okay? So when we talk about things like speech communities, it's about understanding how language shapes our world. You know, like why people speak differently with their friends, their teachers, their family? It's all connected to how we see each other and how we interact, right? You get it?
I mean, yeah, I get that you talk differently depending on who you're with, but so what? Everyone does that. You don't need a class to explain that. I don't see how it really changes anything. What's the big deal?
Okay, it's not just about how we talk, it's about why we do it and the power behind it, right? Like, have you ever thought about how your accent or the way you speak can totally change how people treat you?
I guess. Like how people treat you differently if you talk a certain way? Yeah, I've seen that happen. In fact, I've experienced it myself. Like, for example, if I speak to a few of my friends, they might make fun of how I talk. But if I speak in a proper way around certain people, they treat me better. It's weird.
Exactly. That's what Gumpers was talking about with speech communities. The groups you belong to shape the way you speak, and when you change the way you talk to fit into a different group, it's not just about fitting in, it's about identity, right? So it's who you are in relation to those around you.
So you're saying it's like this invisible rule we follow? Like, you have to change your speech to match the group you're in, or you're not part of it?
Exactly. And it's not always a choice, you know. Sometimes you feel pressured to speak a certain way just to be accepted. Like how some people think you need to talk a certain way to be taken seriously, right? Or like how some accents are treated as less intelligent than others. And that affects everything, like jobs, your social life, how you're seen, right?
Wait, so you're telling me that the way I talk could actually impact how people treat me? Like, if I spoke in a more proper or formal accent, I might actually gain more respect or have better chances of finding a job?
Yeah, unfortunately. That's why understanding language is important. It's not just words, it's power. Like, Chomsky talked about that too. Competence and performance, right? So competence is like knowing the rules of a language, but performance is actually using it to get by in the world. And if you don't follow the right way of speaking, people judge you for it.
You're meaning to tell me that it's not even about being good at language, it's about fitting into these social rules that people don't even talk about? That feels kind of messed up. And a little unfair, not gonna lie.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we need to understand. If we don't, we might miss out on opportunities or get judged in ways that aren't fair. Like, think about gendered language. The way society expects women to speak in a certain way, like being more soft-spoken or accommodating, while men can be more direct without getting called bossy.
Oh, I've definitely seen that. My aunt is always called bossy at work if she speaks up, but when a guy does the same thing, they call him assertive. Total double standard.
Yeah, I agree. But it's all tied to how language is connected to power dynamics. Women, for example, are often expected to speak in a way that's less authoritative. And if they don't, they get judged differently than men, right? It's the same with accents, actually, or the way people from different places speak. Language isn't neutral, it's shaped by society.
Alright. I see what you're saying. I always thought it was just about speaking right, you know? But now I'm realizing how much society's expectations are behind it. Like, it's not even about how well you speak. It's about how others see you when you do.
Exactly. And that's why learning about it helps. It gives us the tools to recognize those power plays and maybe even challenge them.
Alright, I get it now. So this class isn't just a waste of time. It's actually helping us see how people are treated based on how they talk. I guess understanding that could actually make a difference.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just about words, it's about who gets heard and who doesn't.
Okay, I'm sold. Maybe it's not all theory after all. But if we start talking something like linguistic relativity next week, I might have to walk out.
I promise you, it'll be fun.